Life is precious. It's a one-time gift. It's a gift from the Almighty. And if someone has decided to take away their own lives for no matter what reason, it is our duty to counsel them and guide them in the right way. And I can't do it alone by myself. We need the society and we need people to join us on this beautiful mission of creating awareness that your life matters. If you have a bad day or a bad life, you think so, that can change for the better with the help of the right kind of people. Today, we have a wonderful resource person who's agreed to share his time with us. We have our celebrity guest joining us all the way from Arunachal Pradesh. He's Reverend Father Avon Vas. This is what I've liked. No matter where you are, who you are, you want to contribute to the world in a positive way. And especially on suicide, Father has agreed, and that was a moment of joy, pure joy for me, because I want people from all segments of the world to join us to make people understand that you matter in this world and you have a place in this world to live. Join me now to welcome our celebrity guest. He is none other than Father Avon Vas, joining us all the way from Arunachal Pradesh. Hello, Father, and welcome to the session. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Father. You're so humble and so kind. That's really nice to have you here.
Thank you.
We would love you to introduce yourself. I know you're Reverend Father Avon Vas. I would like you to add a little more to your profile such that people could know who you are. Yes, Father.
Basically, I belong to the Society of Pilar Fathers. We are normally called Pilar Fathers. We are based our congregation in Goa, but I'm basically born and brought up in Mumbai, a place called Chembur, very famous for the Raj Kapoor studios and all these places. And I've been working here in Arunachal Pradesh for the last 29 years. This is my 29th year. I came into Arunachal Pradesh in the year 1997. So I've been working with most of the tribals. I've toured the length and breadth of Arunachal Pradesh, but now we have consolidated ourselves with the Tangsa tribals. The word Tangsa etymologically means Tang means hill, Sa means people. They're very loving people with 32 sub-tribes within the tribals in the community. So this is basically district Changlang. I'm in a place called Nampong, and Nampong is very close. The famous Hell Gate, the Lake of No Returns, and the Pangso Pass, where the Japanese invasion took place before the Second World War. During the Second World War, rather. And Myanmar is only 11 kilometers close to our house, our place, our school. And Yunnan province, China is about 165 kilometers. So if you go to the left, you're into Yunnan province, China. And if you go to the right, you are 11 kilometers away from Myanmar. So that is this introduction. And my work experience among the tribals have been very beautiful, very loving people, and I'm contributing them. I also got an award from the government of Arunachal Pradesh in the year 2008. I did a lot of awareness programs for drug addiction. As you are aware, that drugs are very closer to us because most of the drugs are on the high mountains. We have opium grown on the high mountains. So we had a lot of nukkad, this and that, and the government acknowledged. And on January 26, 2008, I was awarded with a citation and with an award for my contribution towards the awareness or bringing awareness among the children and the people of tribals of Arunachal Pradesh. This is a brief understanding I gave you. Yeah. Yeah,
That's really nice. Thank you so much for sharing that, Father. That's really nice to get to know you more as a person. Yeah. 29 years of experience and working in Arunachal Pradesh in the same zone. That's really nice. And the government of Arunachal Pradesh has awarded you. That's also very nice.
I will post to you the award also. That's a citation given to me.
How sweet. That's really nice.
Cutting and the newspaper cutting. Yes.
Yes, Father. We would be really extra glad to have a view of it. That's really nice. Thank you so much. Yeah. Father, today we have connected together for a very specific reason. We've seen a lot of suicides happening across India and the world. Let's talk about our country, India.
Yes.
Different age groups have ended their lives. And you agreed today to speak on the prevention of suicide. Before I ask you any question, the first thing I would love to ask you is, why did you agree to my request? I requested you to please be on the platform to share
Yeah.
your thoughts and views and tips to prevent suicide. You agreed. Now, many will want to know, why did father agree to be on the international factors?
Yeah, yeah. Two things were the driving force. One was, here there have been a lot of suicide cases, especially in Arunachal Pradesh. There is a tribe called the Idu tribe, and there's a high rate of suicide among the girls. Surprising, among the tribal girls. That's Idu tribe. Idu tribe is in Rohing. That's a place they call the Idu Mishmis. The Mishmis are divided into three: Idu Mishmis, Digaru Mishmis, and Mizo Mishmis. So the Idu Mishmis, many of them girls commit suicide for, I don't know the reason for what. Then in my place also we had suicide cases. That is also was a driving force for me. And in fact, I was preparing a small little talk because I just received a few days back a thing that even young priests are also committing suicides. And I was little wondering why this happened. So when you gave me this opportunity, I was already on the project to write to my superior about how to do this. And then your invitation came to me as a happy welcome, so that I could share my thoughts with you. Yes.
Thank you so much, Father. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing all of that. As you mentioned, many girls commit suicide.
Yes, yes, yes. Very
We've
true.
also heard that even boys and young men are
Yeah.
prone to committing suicides, unable
Yes.
to bear the pressure from home,
Correct.
society, and their own
Correct.
selves. They cannot face life.
Correct.
They spend most of their time in their minds than
Correct.
spending it with people around them or with the
Correct.
right kind of,
Correct.
guidance around them. Now, how would you like to describe suicide?
Yeah.
In what way would you like to just describe the term suicide from your end?
Be termed as a deliberate, I would not say willing, it cannot be willing, but it's a deliberate attempt to end life, finding at the end of the road no light. You're finding something helplessness. So basically, I would describe suicide as a attempt of helplessness, that you feel that there is nothing left for you. And so it could be anybody of any age group. So you feel that there is nothing, but that's a spur of the moment. When a person is committing suicide, that's a spur of the moment. That mind thinks that you are come at the end of the road, right? But actually, if they had taken their steps backward and they've looked at it from another perspective, maybe they would have found that there is a lot of meaning in life. But for me, it's a deliberate, not a deliberate, not a willing attempt, but it's an attempt to finish, end up your life with helplessness. That is what I would describe suicide to be, basically.
Very true, Father. It's like a kind of helplessness that you have no hope in future, either from family, friends, or strangers. And we've
Yes,
also heard there are few people who've committed suicide due to health reasons. I mean, they're
correct,
unable to bear the pain, or they wouldn't want to be
correct.
a source of burden to anybody. That's why they end their lives. Some due to love failures, some due to marital problems,
Mm, mm,
and many other reasons.
yes.
Now, Father, what I'd like you to share with us is like a few tips with in what way can we prevent suicides? Are there any good tips which you've collected through the years of
Yeah,
interaction with different people? You've been counseling many people
yeah,
in
yeah.
different ways. So, what are the best tips that you could give us today for suicide prevention?
Yes, yes, yes. See, to be very honest, and with respect to both the living and the dead, I will not venture into the moral dimension as to why individuals commit suicide or attempt to commit suicide. I think this is not the purview of my talk. The question I would like to answer is how to prevent suicide, and my talk is a small attempt towards this bigger question. First is the ways to prevent suicide. The first thing that I felt was we must dwell into the question, what is the purpose of our life? Now, why I am on this earth, why I am on this planet? That is the first question we ask. Now, the natural law, I'm not talking about any religious laws, but natural law and civil law consider 7 years of age as the age of reason. For every person, the child can reason what is good, bad, what is right, and what is wrong. So who am I and what do I want to achieve? So when I go to the youth and when I give talks, I very often quote Rick Warren. Rick Warren is an evangelist in the United States of America, and his book is Purpose Driven Life. It's a very beautiful book, and I feel that every youth should have it. It's an awesome book by Rick Warren. And now Rick Warren begins by saying, you were made by God, you were made for God, and until you figure out, life will not make sense. So God is, he's not talking of any particular religion. He's thinking of God as a universal person that way. So the purpose of life must be discovered. No. Now, where do you discover this purpose? At home, at school, at college, at work, and at every level of human growth and development. This is what I want to say first of all. Now, once you answer the purpose of your life, you will not easily commit suicide because you think that there is a purpose to live. No, life has a purpose to live. Like the raindrops, they come, they soak the land and they go back again as vapors, form again clouds and come back. The purpose of that rain is to wet the ground. So that is the purpose that we need to discover. The second point that I felt that we could share about this evening is our families. No, our families. I am not talking of status, does not matter at all with families. Our approach to family life must be termed as a holistic family, basically, because there is where the fault lines are. I call the families as circle of love. It's a circle of love. So we have a lot of quotients, you know. The IQ is called intellectual quotient, the emotional quotient, the social quotient, the relationship quotient, and spiritual and moral quotients. You know, I just briefly, just in a single or two lines, I would like to briefly explain in a nutshell. The intellectual quotient. Many of us we think that education is not an achievement card. It is a progressive card. It's not something that education ends with a certificate. So the fault line is here. What I feel is an intellectual quotient. There is pressure from parents to do well. That's the first thing. Schools and colleges are chosen by elders. You know, many often they don't even know which college to go. So the elders decide. Now, the parents want to set the agenda of what the child must be, not what the child wants to be. And parents make comparisons among siblings. So when I went to some families, they would say to me, "No, my daughter is very good, or my son is good. The other fellow is a tougher. He cannot study. He's always like this." So what happens? The child is a rejected thing. So that also happens in the family because every family wants a child to be highly intellectual and performing. That is very thing. I would put a case study. I just, as I told you, I educated myself from Mumbai. So one of my classmates who, yeah, so I was sharing with you a friend of mine. We both got educated from Mumbai. He's my classmate. He was my classmate rather. He scored the super marks in his class 12th exams, and the boy was very intelligent, by the way, but he did not want to enter the field of engineering, which his parents wanted him to be in engineering field. So they sent him to Bangalore to become an engineer, and in the first semester only he ducked. So then he attempted for the second semester, again he ducked, and then back papers were going front and forth. And then he went into very great depression. He spent most of the time in pubs, drinking, smoking, name it. Till we all classmates were a little worried about him because we took notice of his depressive behavior. So we talked it out to him. He was reluctant to share his vision. He wanted to join basically hotel management. So we had to convince his father, and his father was very angry with all the expenses that he did. But he joined and he passed out the hotel management with flying colors. Today, he's the managing director of a league of hotels all over the world, happily settled in life. No, happily settled in life. Now, the constant fear that the project is not attainable is one of the reasons for people committing suicide. So it's very project-oriented life. No? Now I come to the emotional quotient. It's a high volatile. So your behavior is very highly volatile, or you can't express emotions. Now, what is the basic point I want to bring is feeling of rejection is one of the reasons for attempting suicide. and how we can prevent it. So rejection is at home. You have fallen in love with a girl or a boy, and that boy has got different ideas about this, that, and the relationship has been continuously for 5, 10 years, or maybe 6 years, and suddenly you find both at the different edge, and then you feel rejected in love, and so you also commit suicide. At work, the pressures are very high. See, our children today are not used to the pressures of life. So I come from Mumbai. I have come from a chawl. So in my building, we were only two Christians and one Muslim family out of 36 chawl houses, and the remaining were all our brother Hindus. So we mingled very easily. We were never thought of ourselves as belonging to any religion sort. We were always very friendly, very cohesive in our work while playing BT Dandu, cricket, and all that. So we never had rejection. So, but now our children are feeling that rejection. The result of this rejection is depression, breakdown, aggressiveness, and helplessness. And I come to the third point, social quotient. How well he or she mixes well in the society. No, the social quotient, how we mingle in the society, at home, with friends, with relations. Just a remark I want to make: is your child adult uh, uh, like cutting himself or herself from the society? Now, when I talk of cutting yourself from society, is like drifting away. So you're drifting when you're going upstream, you don't drift. So when you're coming down, you drift. So when you drift, there is we call it what in a crash. So you end up in a crash. So drifting. So basically, social quotient is that you must be with the society, and if you're not with the society, then you cut off. So one of the reasons for attempting suicide is they are already getting cut off from the society. So we have to help them to integrate in the society, whether what status we are, what religion we believe in, we must be together. So the togetherness helps. So when you cut off, then the child begins to feel isolated. Then he makes wrong ideas about who he is, what he is. So he cuts off from everybody, and then he goes into a spin. The fourth I would like to talk about is relationship quotient, or relational quotient. Now, victims of suicide do not have a healthy relationship. This is what our study has found. They don't have a healthy relationship. How it starts? So they start, what I found with them is they criticize friends, society, the world. So it's a very critical and negative thought process, not positive. So they look at friends, they criticize the society, they criticize, then live in work. They look at person as a threat. This is one of the reasons also they don't have relationship. They feel that he's a threat to him. No, and the third is considers others useless. Now this is what we found is like a superiority complex. I am better, you are not better. So then that loneliness comes. So then what happens is when you're not appreciated for what you are, then you have other ideas. That is there. Then the fourth thing that I would like to share is spiritual and moral quotient. Here, God is out. Only the frame is hanging on the wall. This is what we describe. God is out of the frame, and only the frame is hanging on the wall. So, what is the moral? Everything is okay, all do, so let me do it. My parents gave me birth because of their pleasure. I am not interested. I was not. That is what they feel. And it's my life. I can do what I. So the morality is today gone bonkers. People don't want a moral law. See, our school of thought was different. We respected others and we got respected by others. Here it is that well, everything is okay. I we know children here who don't want to study, just want to wild time, and they feel, look, we are born, who brought us into the world, now you sustain us. So that is an attitude. So moral breakdown is also one of the causes. Now I so how do you so I would like to bring out another thing is, then so how do you achieve holistic family? How does your family function? First is provide, you want to stop prevent suicide cases, then the first thing is provide a culture of life, of love and stability. These are the three ingredients for a family. So life should be respected at home, Love should be given to our children and our adults, including our great grandparents and parents also. No, and stability, that you are safe with us. The second is appreciating. No, appreciating means accepting each person as they are, understanding each person, respecting each person, and the important thing is forgiving everyone. The problem is when we don't forgive, a lot of our problems come with unforgiveness. So we bottle up these things and then these things happen to us. So we must communicate. Communication is very important for us. Now, how do you communicate? Dialogue and respecting difference of opinion. So when you start respecting, okay, your opinion is there, fine. That is your opinion. My opinion is different, but we can still live together. So the living together is very important, which also will help to prevent suicide cases. Sharing time, that is very important. Sharing time with children, sharing time with parents, and sharing time with grandparents. I think the family circle should be consolidated here because the child is not born out of the family, is within the family. So the family shapes his future. The family helps him. So if he's loved, his life is respected, there is stability, I think this committing suicide will come back. Now, I come back to the question once again. Now, what are the steps to prevent suicide? How do you prevent suicide? First is observe behavior pattern. The victim, the person who commits suicide, it has got a thought process. So he has got an idea in his head. This thought process turns to be emotional. And when the emotions become volatile, the behavior pattern follows. So first find out the parents, the teachers, all these people who are guardians. See, you cannot only tell the parents. Today we have working parents. Our parents have to earn to keep the children afloat, the family afloat. You cannot, those days are gone when the father earned and everything was okay. Now, even the father and mother working also are finding it difficult to make ends meet. So the teacher, the guardian, the friends, so they also have to keep an eye, observe the behavior pattern. Now, observation will be at schools, at hostels. Many of them are now like the Northeast children. Many of them are going out of the state because the state doesn't have the infrastructure. Let us be honest, Northeast has always been on a volatile run. So many of them choose outside. They go to South, they go to Maharashtra, they go to Delhi. And there what happens is that they are feeling out of the place. So we have to keep an eye on them at school, at hostels and workplace. Now, what I want to tell you is nothing happens suddenly. It's a slow build up. The person who is committing a suicide or thinking of committing a suicide is not haphazard. It doesn't happen, he's hurt today and then it's a built up. It has worked over time. It has been, he's brooding. See, he's already brooding what to do next. I had a case a few days back. This girl actually attempted suicide, to be very honest. Now, how do I brought that person out? I'll tell you. So they were taken to the hospital and she began, unconscious state. They called me to pray over and all that. Fine. I asked the mother very simple question: what went wrong between you and her, or between her and her father? And she said, "Father, kya bolega? My daughter wants to be there in the town. Now, we don't have the money required to send her to town because we have to buy one rented place and we don't have the money to buy a rented place." So I told her, Baba, you start moving from home. Now, from that place to come to the town is 23 kilometers. Now, if the child comes and it has to go back, so morning it doesn't get a proper breakfast. By the time the school is over, the government school is over, it's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time the child goes, so no breakfast, no lunch, exhaustion. So again, the child asked the mother, please help me to stay there with a friend of mine, just pay my this thing. She said, I don't have the money. So at home only, she took this thing and she tied herself a knot. Luckily, she got saved. Now, how I brought out is I brought her, I counseled her, and I also joined her with two more girls, and we are paying a rent of 3,500. So I told the parents, yeah, I'm not able to afford everything. So khana pina up dekh lo. So they are cooking, these three girls are cooking by themselves and they're going to the same school. So with that, I think the problem can be solved if we are little concerned with loving approach. And I think everything go well. So when I asked the girl, why did this happen? She said, this tanatani or going that struggle with my mother and my father is not just that happened yesterday. It was going on for last 6 months. So when I say that nothing happens suddenly, it's a slow build up. Second is need to have psychological counselors at every step. Now in school is a must, in college is a must, and I also feel that in corporate world and industrial places we need to have a psychological counselor because the age has no bar for suicide. It can be a 7-year-old child, it can be a 13-year-old child, it can be a 60-year-old man, it can be even a 75-year-old man. So I feel what is happening is that we need to have psychological counselors at the corporate level, at the industrial unit, especially with that Atma Nirbhar we are having a lot of entrepreneurs. I think it must be made compulsory by the government to have somebody whom they can talk to. So you can burst out your feelings and all that. Of course, schools and colleges now they're trying to implement with the NEP that is coming in. They are trying to, and we are also forced to keep. So we have to keep a nurse today, see that child first aid. So that is there. The third thing is identify the goodness in your child. Help your child to grow as it wants. So very often we are not able to identify what the child wants, and the child speaks volumes through through science and through words. Words are very less, but through a lot of science the child wants. So once the sharpness of the parents to understand what my beta beti wants, what my child actually wants, it will help to that child will see. When the child knows that when you go back home the mother will give you a hug, the father will guide you properly, will not scold you and all that. I think the child comes back home, but when the child feels that it is not wanted at home, then it goes to his friends, and those friends can take you across to other limits. So he spends more time with the friends, less with the family. So where the family is loving, he will be there before the sun sets, whether whatever in whatever stage of education they are in. So we have found out that the one who commits suicide has normally the following traits. This is what my experience of 29 years working with the tribals. I am not, I have to be very honest. I'm a simple priest. I've not got big degrees. But the following traits that I present is maybe 60% right. I'm not very sure how much percentage. I just say 60% could be right of what I'm saying. Now, what are the traits? First trait is that one who's committing this act, he speaks only when asked, does not share, but keeps aloof. So, this person who's going to commit suicide or attempting to commit suicide, the traits are that he or she speaks only when asked, does not share, keeps aloof. So, we have that's a very dangerous line. Normally, child is badbadi. Every man wants to talk and put his opinion and all that. But this person who wants to do this act speaks only when asked and does not share, keeps aloof. Of course, there are children who are very quiet by nature. That difference I don't want to bring. Second, what we found the trait is stubbornness attitude. No, wants means wants, sees no reason why not to get. So it wants means wants. So when it doesn't get, then it feels that okay, I am not wanted. I'm not getting what I want. Like in the previous day, that girl wanted to go to a rented house to stay, but for not getting. But the child would not see the reason because the child is only about 14 years old. The child could see no reason that my mother is poor, my father is poor. We are all tribals. My place, we are all living below poverty line. So I always jokingly say Bharat Petroleum Limited. We are BPL people, but I jokingly said we are Bharat Petroleum Limited, means BPL, below poverty line. So stubbornness attitude is also there. That is the trait. The second trait is that. The third trait is very ambitious. No, the trait is wants to reach the top even at the expense of others. Now, when not achievable, sees no sense in life, wants to end up with it. So there's a stubbornness, so very ambitious, like very ambitious. I want to do, I want to get, I want to do this, and I saw many of them in the breakdown methodology. I very often when you sit for counseling and all that, the first thing is they tell you promotion nahi mil raha hai. We are working so hard, promotion nahi mil raha hai. So then what happens is they feel that well, that is the end of the road. So we have to also observe these traits, very ambitious. If you look at the this thing is many of them who have committed suicide are intellectual people, highly skilled people. It is not that basti wala, there is no that gaon wala is not committed suicide. That fellow who does labor work, menial work, he doesn't commit suicide so easily. The intellectual level, when it is too high, then you find that they want to some other. That happens everywhere. You are in the corporate world, you are in the film industry, you are anywhere. The ambitious level is high, and then when you don't able to achieve, then you feel like life has no sense anymore and wants to end. I think this is what I wanted to place. So before you, just my 29 years of working in the remote borders of the state of Arunachal Pradesh. So my slogan, basically what I believe, I stand for, no one is born by chance. I believe that. No one is born on this planet, this earth, motherland of ours by chance. All have a purpose in life to live, big or small. No. So first is no one is born by chance. Second is all have a purpose in life to live big or small. And the third slogan that I always carry is live life, laugh lots, and love forever. I think that is the slogan. Live life, whatever tomorrow we don't know. We live life for today, and tomorrow is always good for us. The sun will continue to shine, and laugh lots. Many we laugh at others, but we never laugh at ourselves. You must also learn to make jokes on yourself and laugh at yourself also, and laugh lots. Not a laugh to condemn others, but to laugh at yourself and also and love forever. I think the crux of the whole thing is love matters, and therefore I said in the beginning, families for me is holistic family for me is a circle of love where everybody, there is no such thing called you are out and I am in. It is we are all in. We all want to be. The family is there. What others believe, we should not go by that. There is always people on the fringe of the every part of the world they have. Fringes are always there. People with different ideologies are there. I think that is not the question. We need to work with everybody, love everybody as they are. And I think once you make them persons of lovable and you are lovable, I think this is the best way to prevent. And sad that, had we had a chance to save, we could have saved many lives. Yeah, the only sad part of my 29 years of priesthood is that I could have done much more. I did, but I could have done much. And I feel that is only the saddest event in my life. If I look at it, I could have done much more to save many, many more lives. I think this is what I have to place before you. I hope I have done justice to your organization and to the listeners that this is the only way out to prevent suicide is love. Yeah,
Thank you so much, Father. Thank you very
yeah,
much for being humble.
yeah.
You've done justice all these 29 years, and this beautiful video of yours, or this beautiful sharing which you've done with us with regard to suicide and how to prevent it, the reasons, the causes, and all of that, I'm
Yeah.
sure it will touch at least one person, and he or
Thank,
she will transform their thought process.
thank
You've
you.
really done a
Yeah.
lot of hard work in collecting all these facts and points and coming and sharing that with us. That's really nice. You've given us even certain examples. Also seen financial burdens being one of the major reasons for people
Absolutely.
committing lives.
Mm,
It could be people like the farmers
mm,
or the big business owners who have been losing everything in their business.
mm,
Now, I'd like you to give a message to the people. If their finances are not good,
mm,
there are other ways to rise up again.
mm,
So give the message to them. So because your finances are not working well,
mm,
do not
mm.
end your life.
Yeah. See, I would just like to tell my listeners is the wants are many, no, but the needs are few. I may want many things, but my needs may not be my wants. So if you start taking loans, trying to see, everybody wants to rise up. Even a farmer wants to cultivate. For 1 bigha, he wants 10 bighas. So what he does, he takes loan. Now, very often is today climate change is there. Nature is very hostile for our farmers today. Secondly, the market is there, but our economy is down. So that economy factor also is there. And then he takes loan, then he goes into a spin. So I would suggest that first we satisfy our needs. What do we want for our family? What we want for our children, what we want for ourselves, maybe a little comfortable life, maybe our children to be highly qualified. I think we should be satisfied with the needs. Wants will come when your needs are satisfied. No, then the wants will come. Then look into the want, how you want to progress in that. Second thing is, what I have realized is that even in the working section, you take a home loan, you take something like that, and then what happens is the EMIs are not able to be paid now, because what happens is we are not machineries, we are all human beings. So sometimes the two partners decide together, the husband and the wife, let us take a loan for a house. But if one of the person falls sick, then the expenditure on his sickness becomes a burden. So as a result, what I found is that to take care of his sickness, the EMIs have been neglected. And so then that becomes a point where there is a no go. We don't know what it is. So I think I would suggest to you is first decide what is required for you. No, what is required. Okay, you want a small house, you want a bigger house, go step by step. Now, when I came to Arunachal Pradesh, I built classroom by classroom because I did not have the money. So I built two classrooms. I started by KG1. I kept the other classroom empty. Although I could have gone for KG2 also simultaneously. But I did not, because I did not know whether I would be able to build a classroom for class 1, because my children will go step by step. So I think we need to go step by step in life. No, life is beautiful. It is not a jaldi 5. No, it's a full house. Life is a full house, not a jaldi 5. So you're so used to noodles and fast food and 2 minutes noodles. No, life is not like that. Life is a journey. Life is an endless journey. You have to walk on it one step at a time. And only when you walk one step at a time, we will leave footprints on the sand. That's the thing. I think this is the message that I would like to give to them. Be happy, be joyful, and when you are happy and joyful, God multiplies. That's all.
Yes, Father. Thank you so much. You've really spoken so well. And when you start speaking, I would really like to sit down and listen to a little more, because you really share facts and you tell us the reality of life. You've spoken very, very well. And I'm really so happy and glad that you shared the time with us today. We look forward to many more interactions with you in the future as well. Thank you for being our resource person for today. Stay blessed and stay connected, and wish you all the best in all your endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless.
The same to you, Father. Reverend Father Avon Vaz has shared today with regard to the World Suicide Prevention Day. He has given us many reasons as to why students or people could commit suicide and how to overcome the challenge of eliminating suicide thoughts from our mind. If you like what we are doing on the International Fab Talks, stay connected with us. Like, comment, subscribe, and share to the International Fab Talks. Prioritize peace and give lots of love to your family members. Guide them in the right way. Do not lose your family members because of greed and hatred. Love your family. It could be your own siblings, or it could be your stepbrothers and sisters. It could be your relatives, your cousins, and it could be just your neighbors as well, right? Just love and protect everyone. Do good and be a blessing to the universe. Stay connected and stay blessed. Thank you.